Anyways, so lately we've been noticing a disturbing trend
Yes.
in sports. Okay, so let me just... It started off...
ZGB observations, nothing on it.
Exactly, the invisible stick man first, and now this. Those who listen to episode 3. Anyways,
Good
so...
for you, true followers.
Thank you, Mauricio. The only one. Okay, so, you know, it's this weird thing that we've noticed. Basically, I've noticed that, you know, athletes in general, they get to a certain point. Let's just call this their alpha point. And once they get to that point...
Let's just call it their peak.
Oh, yeah, their peak. There you go. An athlete will reach his peak. And it happened for me when I was a sophomore. I reached my peak in my soccer abilities, and I was smited by the sports gods. The first regular season game of my sophomore year, I broke my leg. And from there, I've never been the same. You know, I've always had this like nervous tick when I was playing. You know, it completely stopped my development that year in terms of soccer. You know, I didn't learn anything.
And you were never able to pick it back up.
Yeah,
you sucked for the last 2 years of high school.
That's not true. I did all right for the past year of high school. It was just, you know.
But you were never as good as you were when you first came.
I was never as good as I was when the instant before that injury took place.
Yes.
And so, you know, Myles has also noted this trend with some professional athletes. So.
Exactly, like you got Leo Messi. Well, the problem with Leo Messi is that he's the best player in the world. So let's just use Reggie Bush, you know. He reached his peak with the Saints.
Helping them win the Super Bowl.
Yeah, to the point where he was almost literally unstoppable.
Yeah, he wasn't unstoppable in terms of the traditional running back role, but in terms of special teams, in terms of creating that threat that would give us fullbacks the
threat that he created.
His wide receivers, he was doing great in the league. Not necessarily on paper, but, you know, the presence that he gave definitely showed off his superstar status from high school.
It's definitely safe to say that he reached his peak there.
Definitely.
And then an injury came, which was definitely given to him by the sports gods.
Broken fibula, coincidence?
Yes.
Profit?
And now look at him.
Now look at him. He's been dropped by the Saints for a running back who is unproven in a draft where a season might not even happen. That's embarrassing to get dropped when there's not... It's like they cannot even legally drop him. He's just at the complex.
Yeah.
And people are like, ooh, this is kind of awkward. I don't know if we can talk to you about... Drew Brees is like...
I just want you to know if everything gets cleared up, you're not going to be...
Yeah, you're actually going to be on a different team. AK, like, Vince Young as well, they actually just cleared the NFL draft today. ZGB breaking news.
Oh yeah.
I just saw that on Yahoo before we started filming.
You got Marshall Faulk as well, Tim Duncan.
Yep, definitely. I mean, Tim Duncan was, you know, definitely, although he is going to be in the Hall of Fame when he retires, he's definitely suffered some injuries in his ankles and whatnot, and it's definitely harmed his game.
It's a drop-off point, and you're never at your peak for very long. Look at most of the players who reach their peak; they're at it maybe a season or two.
Yeah, you know, there's some exceptions. Cristiano Ronaldo was about 2 to 3 seasons at the peak of his performance, topping the leagues, getting, you know, the FIFA Best Player of the Year award, and he injured a ligament in his ankle, and since then he's, you know, you don't even hear about him anymore.
Yeah, smart of him to move to Spain though. On a side note.
Really? You think so? It was just
think about it, dude. Look at who he's playing against now.
That's true. I mean, if you wanted more competition, because he was just blowing things out.
Yeah.
And, you know, the same thing with Rooney. I mean, Rooney was really good when he was like 18, 19. Now he's just, you know, falling down. I mean, England hates him now.
Actually, I don't know. That might be taken a little too far, because Rooney did score against Real Madrid, Barcelona, which is a feat in and of itself.
Yeah, exactly. But I mean, you know,
you have to be on top of your game to do that.
To each his own. Anyway, so about Leo Messi.
No, but going on with like the sports gods thing, you know, look at the U.S. national team, the women's team, and look at the men's team too. But first,
you're talking about the men's team. There's nothing to look at. We're pretty much 3 and out.
Well, the fact that we could win almost 3 games in the last like minute of the game, that's all sports gods right there.
American soccer,
team or the female? Okay. Male team. American soccer needed a boost.
Actually, the sports gods really gave him a boost. First game of the World Cup, worst shot I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah,
goes
exactly.
in front of the entire world.
How does a keeper good enough to make it to the starting
squad
game
for England as a country known for its soccer ability?
Exactly. Make a mistake like that. Sports god moved his arm.
Exactly. The invisible stick man struck again.
And then just going back to the women's team, how does the American women's team that has the most money put behind it, like all these gigantic girls on their team, lose to Japan? I mean,
and whatnot. Yeah. You know, all the millions that we spend.
I'm not being
ODP program.
Yeah, I have nothing against Japan. I'm just saying that doesn't happen. That's not a normal thing to happen.
And you were telling me earlier that you have a theory behind that.
Yeah, and I feel like that's because the sports gods will give the win to whoever needs it the most, not to who deserves it. Because sometimes the team that deserves it the most doesn't always win.
Exactly.
But whoever needs it the most will always get the win.
Exactly.
Look at history; it proves itself.
Civil War.
Exactly.
World War II.
I mean, how does the North beat the South?
Exactly. Also,
sports gods.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's just a fact of life.
How did we beat England? Sports gods.
I thought we tied England.
No, I'm talking about the revolution now.
Oh, okay. I was like, wait, what? Sports gods in a war? Anyway, so that's ZGMB here with the sports
Giving
gods.
You some knowledge.
Actually, before we break, today I was at the gym, I was working out, and I saw the craziest thing. And I feel like no one took as much interest in it as I did.
That's just kind of how, that's just your kind of, that's how you are.
It was amazing. I've never even seen like...
To anyone listening who might be close to Zack, doesn't he take interest in things that aren't very significant and then blow up on that interest?
Trust me. So I'm at the
So you
gym,
have to hear about it for months.
I'm at the gym. No, this is like one and done. I'm at the gym. And
Sure.
this girl's like, hey, is it free swim right now? And I was like, yeah, it's free swim. You can, run, swim, do whatever. And so we're at the lap area where, it's long laps. And, I guess you just swim out. I look like a retarded seal when I swim, so I choose not to. So this girl just like starts taking off her clothes in front of me. And I'm like, what is this?
Nice.
And so she's wearing, no, it was nice. She was like 11.
Oh, unnice.
Perv, pedophile. Anyways, so this girl has like on this suit, those ones that Michael Phelps wears that are like full body?
The full body suits?
Yeah, but her suit on the left leg had the Olympic rings. And I'm like, okay, I've never seen an Olympic brand before, like,
I can wear a Manchester United jersey, doesn't mean I'm on Manchester United.
That's fine. Okay, that's fine. But this girl swam like a freaking dolphin. Like, remember in the scene from Zohan where he's like just on the water? This girl was doing that, and no one took notice. I was sitting there watching this girl like, oh my god, this girl is like...
You're sitting there watching an 11-year-old.
Okay, time out. If you saw Pele as an 11-year-old playing soccer, wouldn't you be like, man, this kid has talent?
Pele's a male though, it wouldn't have been as creepy.
Oh, okay, sorry, whatever. Okay, to each his own. But I'm saying, like, I noticed the talent. I'm like, oh, it's an 11-year-old girl swimming. I noticed this girl was like the freaking Zohan over here, like, flying out of the pool. You know that YouTube video where that guy jumps out of the pool?
Oh,
football
yeah.
player? I'm pretty sure she can do that. Like, this girl is a freaking hoss. And, afterwards...
Well, did you get her name?
It was like, it was an Indian name. It was like real...
She was Indian?
Yeah, it was real long. Like, it was like...
I thought she's on the Olympian team.
I don't know, dude. But this girl was like the best swimmer I've ever seen. Like, I've watched the Olympics, and this girl, I think, legitimately owned an Olympic suit because she was training for the Olympics. It was amazing.
In 7 years, if I see her on the Olympics,
Props. ZGMB recap 7 years from now. Anyways, so we're going to talk about a couple stories next on ZGMB. Just to let you know, we're going to be talking about people that are too mainstream, especially people that are extremely late on mainstream, and an extremely weird fact about the English language. This is ZGMB. Stay tuned for more.